Hey folks, welcome back to Failure Retirement. So I thought I'd take a few minutes and show you one of the big projects I've been working on this summer. And before we get too far into it, the neighbor's donkey is back there watching the show. Mrs. Failure's completely ruined that donkey. She gives him treats all the time. He hangs out here a lot, especially in the afternoon. Anyway, let me turn the camera around, show you the lawn. So here we go. I had the backyard hydroseeded 4 weeks and 2 days ago, September 16th. They showed up and hydroseeded this. I have a kind of a bad spot right here. I'm not sure why. Um, Pretty happy with the way it looks so far. It does have a few weeds in it, but not very many. One of the interesting things here, though, and the hydroseed guy, he wasn't real sure about this, and he told me that this probably wasn't going to work. I didn't rototill this. That hard packed dirt that you've seen behind me before in other videos, we just blew that seed right on there and turned the water on, and here we go. The reason I did not want to rototill it, I'm not against rototilling, but this ground has so many rocks. Every time you touch it with a piece of equipment, it brings up more rocks. And I spent most of a day with a rake, raking the rocks off the surface, and hauled a bunch of them off. And I just didn't want to bring more rocks up and then have the soft dirt settle around and leave the gravel on top, because that's what it does every time. And the hydroseed guy said he had done that one time before and it did not work out very well at all. And Mrs. Failure pointed out, the guy told me that he did it at a school. And Mrs. Failure pointed out, there's not one school around here in this area that takes good care of their landscaping at all. Nothing against the schools. They get plenty of more important things to do, believe me. But they just probably don't put enough water ever. So anyway, I think that looks really, really good there with the green in front of that building. So tired of all the dirt and the ugly that it was before. So much cleaner now already. So anyway, if you remember, about a year ago, like September, October of 2023, I was working on the sprinkler system. And what I was doing, this lawn had a sprinkler system before, but the valves were way, way out there by the driveway, and they were all broken, and the line had been trenched across a couple different places over in here. And so I went ahead and put all new valves right here by the front corner of the house. There's a short, I think, of me tunneling under the sidewalk right here. And what I did is I saved as much of the old system as I could. This particular area right here, I had to put all new. But the reason I saved part of it, we've got a propane line going across the backyard. I don't know. I know where the two ends are. Is it straight in between? Who knows? Our water line comes right through here somewhere. I didn't want to find that the hard way. And then the electric line going to that garage goes right across there, about where the shade sun line is. So I didn't want to find any of that with the trencher. So I had to do that corner over there from where the donkey is over to the garage. That was a dog pen before, didn't have any sprinklers. And I had to add a few here and there, and I moved a few here and there. It's because I didn't feel like they were in the right place. And the reason I did that last fall is so that the trenches could settle in all last winter. and I wouldn't end up with my trench lines showing in my lawn. And then, a few weeks before I planted, I figured out there was a sprinkler about halfway between this tree and the garage, and it was just too close to the garage. So I moved it about 3 feet further out. So these are things I did. A lot of that work was last summer, but this work was this summer was raking the rocks, moving the sprinkler, regrading where the trenches did settle in last winter. And I think I got it. Like, this whole yard is sloped toward me and toward the house that's behind me. But one of the things, I started grading this about 2 years ago just to make sure that all the water ran down here near the sidewalk and then runs out this way again along the sidewalk and then out away from the house. Made a little drainage swale over there and carries that runoff out that way toward the culvert. So anyway, like, this is one of the things that I was doing this summer instead of making YouTube videos. Pretty happy with the way it came out. There are a couple spots, like the one stripe I showed you, and a couple other little random spots. I don't think the camera picks it up, but right in there along the edge of the shade, it's a little thin. I'll just overseed that either here in the next couple weeks or first thing in the spring, and I think it'll be great. I'm super happy with not tilling it. There's essentially no rocks showing right now. Once the turf fills in, you won't know there's rocks there at all. Here's another little stripe right here. This is a sprinkler problem that I didn't catch quite soon enough. These sprinklers here weren't, it was stopping right there at the sidewalk, and that's just not enough, but I didn't notice it until that grass didn't come up. And it's starting to come up now, and if it doesn't thicken in, I'll just overseed that. So over here by the pink flag, same thing. There's kind of a little spot right in there where the sprinklers, they weren't like going past the edge quite enough. That was on me. I should have known better. Anyway, there's the new backyard, and supposedly our front door is going to be here any day, they tell us now. So once the front door is in, we'll show you what the house looks like. Alrighty, if you have any questions, drop a comment. Appreciate you guys all watching, and we'll see you next time on Failure at Retirement. Have a good day.